All right, we're off of mimes and we're on to Rhamondre Stevenson. How about that? Let's talk about him. He is RB10 in current full PPR ADP. I have a lot of thoughts about Rhamondre Stevenson that I really need to get out because it feels like nobody's listening out there. Last year, I get it. He was incredible. He had 210 rushing attempts. He had 88 targets. He was the RB7. Fantastic. Phenomenal. Can we get that again? Great. If so, draft him at RB10. I don't think we're going to get that again. I think that is flying in the face of now decades worth of information that we have about Bill Belichick and his offenses since he's joined New England. So a couple of fun factoids for everybody here. Rhamondre Stevenson, he was the first Patriots running back to rush for 1,000 yards since LeGarrette Blount did it back in 2016.
Yay.
It's fine by itself, right? But the Patriots have not had a back-to-back 1,000-yard rusher since 1996 into 1997. That is pre-Belichick, baby. Not a single Belichick running back has ever done it. And in the Belichick era, only one other running back has hit 50 targets and 100 rush attempts. We're basically cutting that shit in half from last year, from what Rhamondre Stevenson had. Nobody's done it since Kevin Falk in 2003. The only other Patriots running back to do that, also Kevin Falk in 2000. Even the only guy to do it never did it concurrently, never did it back to back. That's the weird shit of Bill Belichick. We talk about it all the time in the industry about how bizarre his backfield usage is. We're not pulling that shit out of nowhere. That's legitimate. The Patriots do not treat their rushing running back as a receiving running back and their receiving running back as a rushing running back. Historically, this was an outlier year. Now, maybe this is me being Packer guy, dummy over here. Tell me if it is. I think they had plans for Ty Montgomery last year. I really think that they do. Or did, and maybe still do, by the way. I don't know what his injury looks like, but the team really seems to like him. And he got injured in their season opener last year. And I just think the timing of it went, all right, we'll throw somebody else in here. Damian Harris is not our cup of tea, but Rhamondre, we like you. Let's just run you into the ground here. The Patriots have brought in a ton of big name free agents as well. They brought in Fournette. They brought in Zeke. They brought in, did they bring in Dalvin Cook? I feel like they maybe brought in Dalvin Cook, but there's been so much happening in the offseason. I can't track it anymore. I'm not going to bet against all of the years of Bellatrix that we have at our disposal to say, Rhamondre Stevenson, another top 10 finish for you. You're not even drafting him at his floor, in my opinion. His floor is well below running back 10.
Well, some breaking news from the chat. Rhamondre just changed his name to Rhamondre Stevenson. So thank you, Scampers, for that. And so on that note, he is a hard avoid for me as well.
Big time fear now over here for
That's
Dustin
right.
and drafting Rhamondre. God, that is glorious. I love it. But no, I'm just fully out. There's so many other running backs after him, I should say, in ADP that I'd rather have.
Yeah, again, he kind of falls in this weird territory where it's like, I feel like that's okay ADP. I mean, I would feel okay drafting him there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel great necessarily, but when you start getting into some of those guys afterwards, they are all kind of the same tier for me. And I would rather kind of see it from the guy that's already done it. I would put my faith in there. Well, I agree with you in what we've seen from the Belichick backfields over the years. Like, yeah, there's been no consistency year over year on who's the guy, what the usage is going to be. Like, it's just not there. But, Billy, he's getting up there in age, and he's got a new offensive coordinator this year. Maybe some things will actually change for once, and I don't know. While I understand your point here, I guess I'm not as strongly with you on this one. Like, I get it, and I wouldn't blame anyone for agreeing with you. I don't know that I'm just 100% with you on this one.
That's the most tepid semi-agreement. I would rather you just came out and called me an asshole, I think, than giving me that middle of the road.
Fine, you're an asshole
maybe.
there.
All right, there we go. Was that so hard? Dear God. I do want to say with ADP, if we're talking full PPR, so he's wedged in between Tony Pollard and Najee Harris.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would rather
take
Tony Pollard. Yeah, I would rather take him.
Yeah.
Najee and him, kind of a wash. I mean, you're getting down here. Then you got ETN, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, they all kind of fall in that same kind of bucket for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm into it. I'd rather take Aaron Jones at RB16. Mm-hmm. That's me being a homer. I'm sure about it. I'd rather take Miles Sanders at RB19. Like, it's probably more about my draft strategy than the individuals, but he's a good example of why I'm staying away from a lot of running backs early on. So